Hi guys, this is Emnel and we are back playing Italy in our Italian introduction campaign, in which we are planning on teaching you all the basics of the game. We haven't unpaused yet, but that's to be expected. In Hearts of Iron and other Paradox game, there is quite a lot of things to do before we are able to. Let's talk about air force. Okay, first thing we really want to do is, upon hitting this button that will take us to the airfields, or perhaps pressing L or clicking this button, what we want to do is remove all the air wings, basically. The way air wings are done in the historical way, more or less in the way they were historically, but that doesn't really work for us game-wise. So what we want to do is remake them the way we want them. Air bases have 10 levels. Each level adds 200 planes to their capacity. For example, here we have airbase level 3 with 600 planes. What we want to do is start adding new airplanes, but it is best to use air wings with the size of 100, and that's what we are going to do. We are going to shift click here for interwar fighters, press OK, repeat, and repeat. We just made 3 air wings of 100 fighters. Same goes for interwar bombers. And here we sadly do not have enough, so we are going to shift click for 50. And also add some close air support. Yes, we'll stick with that for now. We only, if you remember, we only have space for 600. That's why we stick with a few less tactical bombers here. We could go with 52, but yeah, you know the gist. We'll have to wait for them to redeploy, but we also would have needed to wait for them to fly from to simply redeploy the wings that we already had in Italy. We also have units here, but we do not care for them right now. We are not going to be attacked. Declaring a war in Hearts of Iron 4 isn't as easy as pressing a button, so we know for a fact that we are safe. Available airplanes in the reserves. I know that you know what, those are those naval bombers. They will annoy us, so let's create another group. We will want we only have 72, but we'll produce a bit more later. So what we want to do, and we still want a group of 100 of those, right? So what we can do is increase the limit to 100, the way we want it, and once we produce some, they will fill to that 100, and we press OK. They will deploy here, and for now, let's just right click that for it to go away. Division training. Let's talk about division design then. Basics of it. We start with Italy starts with fairly small divisions of only 2 regiments of 3 battalions of infantry. We do have engineer company, and that's about it. Our Alpine divisions are a bit better. They have support artillery too, which is nice. Our tank divisions, on the other hand, are pretty weird. We have 4 battalions of cavalry, 2 battalions of motorized infantry, and only 1 battalion of light tanks, which is a pretty atrocious division setup. We'll want to at least do something along the lines of Germans that have 2 motorized infantry, and 4 light tanks, but there are much better, in my opinion, division designs, and we'll discuss that once we get more army experience, because we are not able to change those willy-nilly. If I wanted to add a light tank here, I would need and save that design, I would need to spend 5 army points that I do not have. So for the first part of the game, let's put it vaguely, you are pretty much supposed to use the thing you start with small tweaks. We'll talk about the ways to gain army experience a bit later. Those are our basic colonial divisions, so to speak. You probably noticed this, those arrows, the red ones and the orange ones. What that means, we just mark those kinds of units, either reserves or elite. What that means is they will receive, the elite ones will receive new equipment first, or replacement equipment if they lose some. Standard one will be second in line, and the divisions in reserves will be the last one. Those things we could update without spending any points. Same goes for the name or the icon of the division. We can also, for example, disable or enable various kinds of equipment. For example, if we want on our colonial divisions to only use basic infantry equipment, we can do so and prevent them from getting any new, from using any new one that we may receive. We are not going to do that, but that's also the thing that you can do without spending army points. That's about it. If we wanted to add a support battalion, that would cost us 10, and so on and so forth. We'll, as long as we don't save, it doesn't matter. Cavalry divisions, right here. What we will want to do is get some Alpine divisions. I like special forces more than I like standard infantry. They are more expensive. They require, what's the cost here is not that, as you can see, there is no money. The cost of divisions is manpower and equipment they use. Special forces such as mountaineers, paratroopers, and marines use more infantry equipment. One battalion uses 140, while one battalion of infantry uses 100. Infantry is a bit better in defense, but in all other counts, special troops are better. They not only have high bonuses to, in case of mountaineers attacking in mountains and hills, but they also have higher basic stats such as breakthrough or soft attack and organization. Well, soft attack they have the same, but they have higher organization, which is very important. We'll get to that once we get to the fight. So, but if you can afford it, if you have time, since they also train a bit long. No, they used to train a bit longer. Now they don't. It has been changed in the release edition. If you have the spare equipment, it's usually better to go with Special Forces divisions, and that's what we are going to do. We'll start a new line. We'll add, let's say 5 more. You can either shift click to add 5 lines as I did, or just click every time to add 1 more. We'll set the location for them in here, in a port. Basically, it's usually best to put them either close to the front line we want them to use, or in the port if we were to, for example, ferry them to, to Africa. Okay, and well, that's about it for now. Well, they will keep producing. They need. We do not have equipment for them now. And well, we'll discuss the production later. Let's look at our battle plans. What we are going to do is the top part of our offensive will be automatic. We'll just make a battle plan and execute it. Here, however, we will will control this thing manually. We are not going to attack just yet. We'll allow them to. We'll unpause and allow them to get some planning bonus. But let's talk more about how to work those battle plans. For example, as you can see here, we have 14 divisions assigned, and this is the automatic arrow that was created when we made this line. If I hold Alt, I can adjust this line. I can repaint it, for example. I just grab the edges of it and paint it anew. I can also adjust this arrow. See those blue? See that blue province? I grabbed it. Okay, so there it was. Here it is, that blue province. This is the province I want. Our divisions will focus on taking or going through at some point. If I put it here, that this is the end of the line. As you can see, they will go through that. I can add a few more. For example, here I want them to focus on that and then go there. That's all by clicking while holding Alt. Here we go. Same thing here. You can, for example, make them start from this position. Same goes for here. I right clicked to remove that. Here we go. So those are the things you can do. Okay, let's Alt and right click to make the proper attack. We are not going to go too fancy, but we'll make a new attack arrow from here. So we already have one attack line. So when we try to make a new one, for example, let's delete it and do it properly once again. Okay, I select this, I select an offensive line, and I want another angle of attack. So I draw another line. It will either attach to our front line, or it may attach to our first line of attack as a continuation of our offensive. If, for example, okay, sorry for that. I will. Okay, example here. This is going to be first. Our forces will try to reach that first line, and then we can activate the next stage of attack. As you can see here, those 14 divisions are first here, and then they will go there. We don't want that. We want to switch our order into two. We'll make a new offensive line right here, and by tab we can, by pressing tab, we can switch attachments, and we want it to be attached to our original plan. Now we hold Alt and first hold on this. Oh, sorry. Okay, and we need to hover over it and then click while holding Alt. Alright, we have two now, but all of our units are assigned to the first one. We want to split them in two. To do that, we hold Control and right click. We just selected all of the units that were assigned to this plan. We could just select them here, but sometimes, as you can see in a second, units in one army are split between two. Now what we are going to do is press S or click this to take only half of those, and while holding Control, we'll click or use this division assignment mode. Here you are. We reassigned 7 divisions from this order to this one. We'll have 2 angles of attack here. This one we don't care about, but let's make it a bit tighter, like here. Yeah. Come on. You can do various things really. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the basic. Just play with it. It will make sense at some point. I don't want to waste any more time. Since that's set up, we can finally unpause. Let's speed it up a little bit. Our units will get into positions. Frankly, I want one of those there. Exactly. They are moving there. They are sitting here, and they will get planning bonus. We'll wait a few months. Our air wings have nothing to do. Let's make them, for example, assign them to here, and make them do naval strikes against enemy ships that are not here, but well, they would want us to work with that. And here we have air wings with no missions. We'll wait for them to deploy, for the rest of them to deploy. It will take... okay, it's done now. If we press F3 or select this, it will show the air zones. Ethiopia is entirely within East Africa air zone, and we are going to we'll want to assign all of our fighters there. It is a pretty big air zone compared to, for example, European ones such as Western Germany or Benelux, and that will make our early game planes pretty not very effective here, since our airfields, as you can see, on the edges of the whole zone. We take them off. We select them either by clicking this or by simply shift clicking those to select only the ones we want, and then we right click on the air zone we want to assign them to. We assigned them to and as you can see here, they have only mission efficiency of 17%. Because the area is too large. If we hover over this, it will tell us that another airfield of ours, this one, Somaliland, is closer to this zone, whatever that means, but this airfield is only level 1. If we were to click this and rebase all of our planes there, the airfield would be too crowded, and it would make impossible for those planes to even fly. For that reason, we are going to pick those 2 planes, and since they are 100 each, and assign them there. Yeah, they're on the way. In the meantime, we can assign the orders we want, and we want close air support for our bombers, which is basically bombing enemy units when they are engaged in combat, and air superiority. Air superiority will having air superiority over the region will lower the defense of enemy divisions, as well as slow them down, because we for example, attack them with our fighters when they are moving through the roads and whatnot, things like that. So it is air superiority is very important in Hearthstone 4. It should not be underestimated. All right, and in a few shortly, though, you will see that number change when they move to Somaliland. Well, change barely, only from 70 to 21, but we are a bit better off. And if we now look at the map, the air map, you see this is green, since we have the control here. We, however, only have enough air force to cover 10% of the region, so our penalties when inflicted upon enemy will be only worth 10% of the possible penalty. We'll take a look at that once we get to fighting. I really hope it isn't too slow, but some people this is a second installment of the series. Previous one had terrible audio. This one will be better audio-wise, I hope. But some people said that I went too I went too fast. So I'm actively trying to be as thorough in my explanation as possible. But I also don't want to just sit here and talk to you about some mechanics like here. Training levels, we'll speak about those later. Basically, the better the higher levels give better combat modifiers. If units are untrained, they get penalties like this green one. There is a lot of stuff that are relevant to our situation here, but not as relevant, not that relevant that I need to mention it. Okay, let's take a look at our planning bonus. It's almost there. We'll wait for the next day. We'll start at 6 o'clock. 44. Let's wait for the full one. You are getting okay. Planning bonus. You're gaining planning bonus when your divisions are standing still, so not moving and not fighting, at the front line when there is an attack order drawn. If I were to delete those attack orders or delete those front lines, the planning bonus would slowly decay. It wouldn't disappear, it would decay. It would decay as fast as if we were to execute our order here and our units would start fighting. So it is, even if you plan on, like here, manually control your units, it is good to let them get the planning bonus first, because it will still be there despite the fact that you are doing a manual control. Alright, I think it's enough. Let's do the whole war thing. Here we can click that to activate all orders. It will do that, but we can also shift click and choose which shift click. Come on, we need to select them first. My bad. And toggle different orders to execute if we want to do them in some order. But for now we will just click this and make those guys attack. Here on the other hand, we'll do manual control. We will take this division and attack here, since we have a border here. We'll take this division to attack here. Two of those divisions, however, will try to move forward without through here, since it is not defended, and our main goal is getting Addis Ababa. They attacked outright, since we had an advantage. Those attacks also commenced. The reason behind those is if we have not attacked here, they could have perhaps moved away from here and stopped us. If, for example, there were 3 divisions here and that province was undefended, we still would want to attack with 1 division here with so-called spoiling attack. It is called in English, I believe, and pin them down and allow our other divisions to operate. Our planes are doing their job, as you can see here. Enemy commander, well, they do not have a commander, has enemy air superiority. If you take a look here, we see that due to our air superiority, they are losing 10.7% of their defense. We, on the other hand, are okay. So this first one is soft attack, second one is hard attack, and last one is defensive stat. For attackers, defensive stat that is used is breakthrough. For defenders, it's defense. Let's take a look at our basic infantry division. We have defense of 156 and breakthrough of only 22. Infantry is very good at defending, not so good at attacking. If we had a proper tank division, those stats would be different. So attack, it would be, for example, 20 defense and 200 breakthrough. Tanks are better at attacking. What breakthrough means is basically an ability of our units to avoid taking casualties when on the offensive, when attacking. Alright, and another thing, soft and hard attack. See this bar? It's actually a percentage bar. That is hardness. We have hardness of 0. That means that only soft attack will affect us. For example, if we had 100 soft attack, and if enemy had 100 soft attack and 100 hard attack would not affect us at all, and 100 points of 100% of enemy soft attack would affect us. On the other hand, if we had a hardness of, let's say, 80%, then only 20% of enemy soft attacks would affect us, and so from 37, from 29, that's what, 5 or so, 6, and okay, that's not true at all, right? Anyway, and 80% of enemy hard attack would affect us, but hard attack of those divisions is 7, so on almost any situations having higher hardness is better. That's a basic that's the basics for it, and then so those are stats of our divisions that we've seen there. Basic value that you've seen before was in a second of our soft attack was 39, and it is modified due to those things here. Planning bonus, and you can see planning bonus is a huge part here. 4, same goes for, and you can see it decay slowly. But we here are attacking manually, but it decays same speed here. It's also 42. So night affects us heavily, and so on and so forth. And there should be some bombings here and there, I believe. Let's see, there. Okay, here, air support. We have some bombers here, and then certain amount of bombers can be the amount of bombers that can join the battle is determined by its size, the combat width. I will discuss combat width a bit later. Here 108 planes can affect us, can take part, as you can see on the bottom, and we have 81. They've done some damage to organization and strength of the enemies. They also provide a combat bonus for us, as you can see here, air support plus 11.2. That's because only about not all the possible planes are. If there was 108 planes, that would be maxed at, I believe, 15. So, but what you probably know, well, point is that penalties that you can inflict by air superiority are much higher than bonuses you can get from air support. Those can go up to 50% without any tax. Even if we only had more planes in the air, those would get to 50%. Air support bonus for our troops, not so much. Here, and also look how important terrain is. This one, I believe, is a good example. We are attacking into the mountains and through the river, I believe. Are we? No, I don't think so. Well, we are attacking into the mountains, and that gives us minus 60% to our both attack and defense stats. So this is definitely the biggest disadvantage we have. And here we are attacking into plains. There is no such thing. So it is a very important thing. All right, we probably could punch through here all the way to Addis Ababa, but what we want from this war, except the territory, is some army experience. And the more we fight, the better. There are several ways of getting army experience. You can exercise with your units, You can hire a theorist. We'll discuss that a bit later once we get more political power. And you can fight. You can also do land lease, but that's also a topic for another thing. And fighting, of all those things, is the fastest way by far to get army experience. For that reason, we will take one of our units, put it here, send it here, and to help to try to encircle one of those units and perhaps help them with the attack. But this one will still continue up north. Here we pushed those units from here, and we are continuing our advance. Here, however, that's the problem with manual battle, with automated battle plans. There really isn't a reason for this unit to go there, as you can imagine, right? Like, okay, this is a more difficult attack, but first of all, it turned into a attack on the bridge, which lowered the combat width, and not even all our units can partake. We'll discuss that later, but so there's literally no reason for this unit to even go there. What like reasonable thing to do would be to, for example, go here, right, and try to get to hit those units at the back, or perhaps support this attack. No, but they decide to go there. So there is next patch should improve the AI behavior in battle plans, but for now, just know that manual control will almost always be better than your battle planning. It will take longer time, but you have to. You will basically have to decide in which parts of the front you want to babysit your troops. Okay, so and the thing is that queuing orders. When this order ends here, they will once again do whatever they want. But as long as they have orders queued manually, therefore they will override the automated orders. Also here, while I haven't activated this order, this front line is still active. So if, for example, if this unit gets here, it may decide that this unit, this province, this part of the front line is undefended, and that it has to go there outright. And for that reason, it's not an absurd idea to simply delete all the front lines and orders for the units you want to use manually or unassign them from those. But for now, we'll leave that as it is. If you want to see more manual control, more advanced stuff like that, check my either my Japanese or German flavor, or any other really. But in Japanese there is a lot of that. You might have noticed this small square here that I can't hover over because of the battle plans. Damn it. Well, let's take at this one. So those are victory points. Only way to finish the war in single player. In multiplayer, you can get to some. You can reach some other conclusions, but in single player is to make enemy surrender by taking enough victory points to force them to capitulate. And the main source of capitulation are the provinces with victory points. Keep in mind, however, that provinces without victory points are also worth some victory points, the fraction of those. That is. Okay, we are going to connect here. Let's see what this guy does. Okay, so he decides to just sit here. Alright, so there's a difference between attacking and supporting the attack, if we are still talking about manual control. If I right click here, that would mean that with the attack here, what that does is we join the battle, and we will move to that province after we win it. We can also hold control and right click on that combat marker that would make us support the attack. The difference is that we would not will not advance there. It's quite nice. It's an important thing to use when, for example, you don't want to create holes in your front line and so on. So keep that option in mind. If you hover over here, you can see how to do it. Order to move here or support the attack. So we'll for now just support this attack. Here we are moving. Alright, we are out of time, however, so we are going to continue and, well, finish this war in the next episode. And, well, then shortly after there should be a war in Spain, and we'll also discuss division design and navy in more detail. So stay tuned for that, and see you next time, guys.